Wednesday morning, it's March the 12th, the 71st day of the year, 9 degrees in Richmond, 28 in Liverpool. In the city, 26 degrees forecast. Tomorrow a change coming through, a shower or two developing at 24 degrees. There's a west-northwesterly wind of 10 kilometres per hour. Okay, what's happening today, Wednesday the 12th of March?
I've sort of been jogging past that thing sort of every day for a while now, and I think every time you look up at it, it sort of beckons to be climbed.
It's only until recently we've actually seen a way that you could actually climb it.
Birthday today. Liza Minnelli's birthday today too, the US singer. Ross Trabovich's birthday too, Soviet-born cellist and...
It seems pretty quiet around here anyway. What's the time now? 25 past, no, it's 3:30. Right, okay, that's not too bad. What happened?
You know, you got over the lip. Yeah, so that's the hardest part of the whole thing.
There are two people trying to climb the western pylon of the eastern pylon of the Glebe Island Bridge, the one on the city side. Apparently, there are two climbers trying to make their way to the top.
Yep. I'm about 30 metres up off the ground. Matthew is about another 30 above me. It's been going up above me for about the past hour and a half. So I estimate the rest of the climb is going to take at least another 3 hours.
And it's just part of being a climber. Every time you look at something that's vertical, you tend to analyse it in terms of how you can scale it. And the higher, you know, and the more aesthetically pleasing the structure, I think, you know, the more the challenge is to climb the thing. It's more of a lure. I was looking at the pillar and there was what I thought was a crack going right up the centre of the pillar. And then on closer inspection, I saw it was a lightning conductor, and it was bolted every metre.
We knew the bolts were going to hold. We had no concerns about the safety of the bolts. I mean, we'd used these very bolts before.
How's it going there, old son?
Hungry burns in the knees.
You might have to invest in a new method. It's not too bad, actually. It was quite easy to put those things in all the way. Bolts are very secure. The bridge authority's done a wonderful job.
If you can see the climbers on the Glebe Island Eastern Pylon too, give me a call and tell me their progress. It's 10 to 7.
But it's very slow progress, Ian. You'll be lucky if they make it before you're off the air.
It's not impossible to see from the roadway, but they're looking up towards the top of the eastern pylon, as you say, the North Sydney side.
Two men climbing Sydney's Glebe Island Bridge have caused traffic havoc for motorists in the city centre. Police say motorists are stopping to watch the bridge climbers who are making their way up the northeastern pylon. Traffic in both directions has been affected as police try to get to the two climbers. Police are urging motorists not to stop along the bridge.
At that stage, it was much safer for us to actually continue on.
So what's happening down there now, Johnny?
Well, apparently the police have arrived now, so this should be a development as we move on, but I'm not sure if this will be the first for the Glebe Island Bridge, but it's very slow progress at the moment, Ian.
I think it might be the first, actually. Tell me, is Constable Sticky Boots being asked to ascend the pylon and make an arrest?
Well, I don't see any police getting out the grappling hooks and strapping on the pitons to climb up after them. We might follow that over the next half hour or so.
Yep, let's do it.
Can you just tell me what you're doing up there, Mr. Troll?
Well, I'm going to reach up with the stick up to the next bolt.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use the stick to reach each one of the rings, every one of the rings. They're just at every crack.
So the actual lightning conductor at each section in the structure, it actually pops out a little bit in the shape of a ring. We actually just taped a carabiner to the end of a long stick, and we just clipped that to each one of these rings, and then Owen was able to pull himself up. It's called a cheat stick for obvious reasons. And it probably wasn't the purest of ascents, but it certainly got us off the ground quick enough.
I'm not an expert in rescues, Kylie, but I'd imagine there would have been some risk to the life of the policeman.
Well, Peter, they've sort of had to have a bit of a think about how on earth they were going to do it. The police rescue squad was called in, and 2 officers from there went up inside the northeast pylon. So there are stairs inside that pylon where the 2 men were climbing on the outside of it.
We simply asked them if they were okay, and they said that they were. We told them that we weren't going to come down and try and get them unless they were in any sort of strife, and we weren't going to try and do anything which might break their concentration in coming up, because that obviously could lead to problems.
Can you just tell us why you did it?
Do you regret what you did?
Is it a bit hairy up there? The police are still questioning them, as the men will probably be charged with at least entering enclosed land.
All I can say is, Kylie, they'll probably plead insanity, and it'll be a very, very big case.
We're charged with 2 summary offences, the first being unlawful entry, which was gaining access to the base of the bridge. We stepped through a gate in a wire fence which had a chain across it. And the second was climbing on a building, which I believe relates to endangering the safety of others.